I think with a paper edit, and what I also always tell them is that, there I would be with whatever, like let's say The Ties That Bind, and I've got, 5 hours of interviews with my mother. I transcribe all of it, into a notebook. And then because I I couldn't afford to shoot a lot of film when I made The Ties That Bind. I mean, it was just like so many years ago.
Film was really expensive back then, right?
Yeah, very expensive. And when you've got that, I didn't know how long the film would be. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go out and shoot this, or I'll collect that or whatever. But then I didn't know whether the footage would exactly correspond with the kinds of stories she was telling. And so I would measure the length of the shots. Let's say I would have 6 shots in a section, where she's telling something, and I would have 6 or 10 shots, and I would measure the length of them in 16, and then I would time what she said and break it down. So when she said, and then I went to the store, okay, that was X seconds, and I bought a bushel of potatoes, so I could kind of sit there and match and think, well, if the first shot goes with that phrase and second shot goes with that phrase, because I'd had to figure out whether I even had enough footage to cover what she was saying. And when you get into that degree of precision, it's really good, but you also learn that you're wrong most of the time. Your original visualizing of what will go with what seems really great in your mind's eye, and it looks pretty good on paper, and then you put it together and it doesn't work. So you have to change it, but you have this reference. You can think, oh wow, I thought that would go with that. Then you also know that if there were 3 shots that really didn't work there, you now have them to work with somewhere else, because maybe looking at them, you think, okay, the shots are good, but they don't make sense with that part of it, but they'll make sense somewhere else. So you just get this very deep relationship to the footage and to also what's being said. So it's kind of it was grueling for sure, but I was younger, I was willing to do the hard work.
And was that like in Ties That Bind, there's a lot of inserted footage. Was that also cataloged like that, or was that just sort of like you would like look at things and then?
What do you mean inserted footage? Like archival found
Yeah,
footage?
archival footage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like.
Well, back in 1984, there wasn't, what's it called? Rick Prellinger's great archive.org or whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
You could not go to your desk and click on a website and find really great footage and then rip it and then stick it into your computer editing program. You'd have to go to a library and secretly bring your camera in and shoot off the screen, or you'd have to whatever. So getting the found footage that I have in the film was hard won. So I would really have to think beforehand about what I needed. And in some, like, I of course went to Germany to visit my mother's hometown, and I went to the sort of the city hall or wherever it was. They sort of have an archive, and they had this old footage of the bombing of the town during the war, and I had my Super 8 camera, not even 16, and I filmed off the wall. I mean, very low res, this kind of stuff. So yeah, it wasn't as easy as it is now to get stuff to just sort of play around with.